fight fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Undercard. As always, I'm your host, Jeff Patello, and today we are going to be doing fight breakdowns of a UFC Fight Night. This card was an interesting one, needless to say. First off, this card was plagued by a few overweight fighters. In fact, we even lost one of the fights due to a fighter coming in, not just say a tad bit heavy, but like extremely heavy. We've even got a new UFC record here on this one. The previous record was held by Anthony Rumble Johnson. He missed weight, I forget in which fight, but he had missed weight by 11 pounds. Excuse me. And this one took the cake. What was the fighter's name? Raphael Alves. He came in at 11.5 pounds overweight for his fight. Super embarrassing. I feel more sorry for Patrick. Alves' opponent, Patrick. You put in all that work and all that effort, and then, to see a guy miss weight by that much, it's just, it's so unprofessional at this point. You've signed the contract, you know what you got ahead of you. You have to make that weight, right? They didn't even give him the option of forfeiting some of his purse, as we had in 3 other fights, including the co-main event. Pierre came in 2 pounds heavy. She lost 20% of her purse. Who was it? In the Chavez versus Gordon. Gordon was another one. Gordon also came in 4 pounds overweight, and he lost 30% of his purse. And what was the other one? There was another notable one. I think it was oh shit, I forget which one, who was the other one, but I did make a little tribute video. If you guys are curious to look it up, it's on the Instagram page there. Just a tribute to all the fat bastards that missed weight. I'm not down for body shaming of any sort, don't get me wrong, and this type of shaming is more so on the professional level. You fat fucks, get into the gym and get your shit sorted out, or maybe stop looking for that advantage, because I think in some of these fights it came back to bite some of the fighters, and I think it's just overall it's just a bad look. You can't be having fighters miss weight by that much. Other than that, we had also another strange event happen just hours before this. Well, it's not so strange, but unfortunately we had COVID come back and strike its ugly head in this one, as we also lost the Luis Pena versus Dakar close fight. Neither of the fighters had COVID themselves. However, one of Dakar's cornerman did test positive, so just to be safe, that one is going to get pushed back. I'm not sure if there has been a official date booked for that one just as of yet. We'll have to keep you posted for that. Also, another strange event that went down. It's not too often you see this happen, but Jake, I believe, Chaz Skelly, who we hadn't seen in a fair little bit, he made his walkout to the octagon. He was already warming up. He was doing his thing. He was waiting for his opponent his opponent Jamal Emmers to come into the ring and join him for a scrap, but this one was strange, as somebody from the back came in, and I think it was like one of the medical officials, and said that this fight had to be canceled due to back spasms. And I don't know if any of you have dealt with back spasms before, but they suck. They're no joke. So hopefully this one will get rescheduled soon. You know, it really sucks to cut all that weight, make the weight, and you're ready to go, and you're gonna have to put your body through that all again, right? So I don't know if we're gonna see this one anytime soon. Hopefully it will get rebooked though. You know, it's just a shame for Chaz, but Chaz was in pretty good spirits. You have to, if you want some good TV or a good clip to watch, you got to see Chaz bust out them karaoke skills. They are a thing to be admired, that's for sure. Great clip there, and hopefully he'll bounce back. You know, as frustrating as it was to have that go down, he seemed to be all right. And hopefully he got his show bonus, and does he get a win bonus? I don't know how that all breaks down. It'll be interesting to see how that all unfolds. Other than that, there was no other craziness to talk about. So what we'll do is we'll get into these fights. We are going to start with the main card and work our way all the way down to the undercard. That is the name of the show, so that's the approach we'll take today. Now, we had a very, very entertaining scrap in the heavyweight division. Curtis Blaydes versus Derrick Lewis. By now, I'm sure you all know Derrick Lewis landed that big, nasty uppercut. He had stated that him and his team, Joel Murphy and all those... I forget the name of the camp out there in Texas, but they were game planning for this. You know, they knew eventually that Curtis Blaydes was going to shoot his shot, and when he did, Derrick capitalized fully as he landed a devastating uppercut, followed by two monstrous shots. I can't help but think that there was a small mistake in Blaydes' approach. You know, in the first round, Blaydes dominated that first one. I think he had even rocked Lewis a couple of times there, but it's kind of hard to tell with Derrick because he does play possum sometimes to lure in his opponents just so that he can land that big, nasty shot. I mean, that man has got notable power. I mean, the only other guy that's got more power than Lewis is got to be Ngannou, right? You know, as for like the most heaviest hitters in the heavyweight division, you know, you got to have Francis Ngannou number one, Derrick Lewis number two, you know, and what? Rosenstruck number three, possibly Overeem number four. You got some big heavy hitters in that division, but those two men are on a pedestal of their own, you know, in the upper echelons. In fact, Derrick Lewis, with this knockout victory over Curtis, he is now sitting with 20 KO victories, which he's already got the record, so he's just pushing that ceiling just a little bit further and further and further, you know. To get back to my thought there originally on this fight, I thought for the most part Curtis was fighting a good, smart fight. You know, he seemed to have been having the better of the exchanges in the striking department, and you know, I think he just made a small mistake. He might have might have been a little dazed as well. He did eat a few shots. He looked a little he looked good. Like I said, I think it's just a small mistake by Curtis's on Curtis's part, right? You had to know that they were game planning for you to shoot in, and it just looked like on that last takedown, he didn't really try to set anything up. I don't know if it was a mental mistake or if he just wasn't giving the respect that Derrick Lewis deserves. But he kind of came in sloppy for that takedown. Didn't use the hands to set anything up, so he really didn't put Derrick on the back foot, right? And Derrick was able to load up and deliver a nasty uppercut. And it's a shame for Curtis, but he'll bounce back. He did well in that fight. He looked great in that fight. I mean, even his standing and striking looked really good, really crisp. I thought, like I said, this was just a small little mistake, and I expect these two to meet again in the future at some point. This heavyweight division is kind of going through the sludge right now. It's very slow moving, but we do have Francis and Stipe coming up here soon, I believe. I think it's at the end of, is it May or April? I'm not too sure, but once that fight happens, I'm sure that we'll start to get a little bit more clarity, because I believe that the winner of the Francis and Stipe and Miocic fight is going to take on John Jones, and then after the John Jones fight, I think it's got to be Derrick Lewis now, right? Curtis Blaydes was the placeholder for a little bit, and one would think that Lewis kind of sits there and kind of waits for his shot, which is kind of unfortunate, because it could mean that it'll be quite some time before we get to see, Derrick Lewis in the ring again. I believe we've got also, it's just, like I said, that heavyweight division has got some movement. We also got Gagne versus Rosenstruck. I think that one will be a interesting one too, because Gagne could get in there and make things interesting. Even though he is a young prospect, he's another one of those guys that comes out of the I believe the MMA factory in France, and he's looking pretty good right now. He's another big guy. He's 10-0, so if he gets a win over Rosenstruck, I believe that there could be a case to have Lewis fight this Gagne, right? Which, I mean, I think that would be the like a dream matchup. To see those two men go out there and bang would be pretty fun fight, that's for sure. But yeah, tough loss for Curtis, and he's gonna take some time to recover, and he'll be back in the mix. He's still a young talent, great talent, and like I said, unfortunately, I think he just got caught in that one. But as for me, I did say you wanted to stay away from this one. It could go either way. I unfortunately did have Blaydes for this one, but it just did not go my way. And whoever put some money down on Lewis definitely made a killing, that's for sure. All right, so for the co-main event, this one was between Katlyn Vieira versus Ayana Knitstia. I am so sorry. I am terrible with some of these names, but I promise to get better. So this one was in the bantamweight division, and this was one of those fighters that missed weight. Vieira came in 2 pounds heavy for this one. She lost 20% of her fight bonus, and I can't help but wonder if her weight cut made this an even more difficult fight for her, because she looked very flat in this one, did not really look to be an aggressor at all. There was a fair bit of clinch work by Yana in the first, where she had Vieira up on the cage, right? So you wonder if maybe she kind of like gassed her out there. Vieira did try to attack a little bit, but never really did anything. If you look back into the second round between these two women, Vieira had the back of Yana and never really did nothing with it. She was even on the top position in the first and never really did nothing with it. This isn't the old school UFC where you can just drag your opponent to the ground and just hold them there and hope for a win. You actually have to attack and do something. And like I says, I question the weight cut for Vieira, because she just really did nothing to advance her position to try and secure really a submission. She, in fact, when she had Yana's back, Yana was throwing like fists, at Vieira, and Vieira really had no answer for her. You've got your opponent in a bad position, and she wasn't even throwing strikes back at her. So I think Vieira's gonna have to move up. This bantamweight division is clearly too much. Well, just clearly it's way too small for her. I in the other show I had questioned if Yana was going to be able to handle the power of Vieira, and clearly the power of Vieira was a non-factor in this one, because like I said, she just looked tired, gassed out there, and she kind of got like beat up. And then what definitely sealed the deal for Yana was the last like 30 seconds of that of the final round, where she was able to get on the top position and land some nasty elbows. In fact, Vieira was a leaky mess after that one, as a big gash was opened up on the forehead there, as Yana came in with 2 nasty elbows. And I was kind of surprised that the odd makers had this one so heavily in Viviana's way. I told you that I did not like Viana for this fight. I thought Viana was going to try and use her power to, really dominate her opponent. But clearly that weight cut played a major factor, as she just did nothing out there. And Yana's striking is the better of the two ladies. I had said that. Vieira does throw a lot of nasty shots, but there are looping shots, looping hooks, and when you're fighting somebody that's got polished striking, it becomes a problem. And clearly Viana did not want to deal with Yana striking, as she tried to take this to the ground at every opportunity. But in doing so, she just burnt herself out. And like I said, she just looked very pedestrian on the ground there. And when you're in a dominant position like she was a couple of times, you've got to do something with it, and you just can't sit there. So thankfully, Yana made me look good on this bet here. She easily won that decision. I mean, I guess it was kind of close. It was a 29-28. But this was a very one-sided fight. In fact, I think Yana had a total of 178 strikes compared to her opponent's 16 strikes. So not the best performance by Vieira, but like I said, I think there were a few major factors. I think she got gassed out on the clinch and was never really able to bounce back after that. As for what's next for Yana, hopefully we'll see her in the ring again here shortly, hopefully around summertime, give her some time to recover, though she didn't really take too much damage in that one. But yeah, hopefully she will make another surge. This puts her on a 2-fight win streak, and who knows, maybe in a year or so she'll be looking to for a spot at the for a title, right? But yeah, I think Vieira's team's definitely got to get her up a weight class, and just not a really good performance. And if that's how you're gonna show up to these fights, it really doesn't make it worth it, to miss weight, because they money's good and all, but like when you're throwing 20% away, right? Like that's a big chunk to be missing. You better off going up a weight class and not taxing the body as well, because like when you throw out performances like that, even though she had a good record, they're gonna always remember your last performance, and that was an ugly one by Vieira. So this was another one that I thought was a easy one to call. This one was a fight in the men's featherweight division. This was a bout between Charles Rosa versus Derrick Minor, and like I had said, Charles just doesn't have the ground game to compete with Minor. This was the whole Bryce Mitchell fight all over again. Charles just wasn't able to show any of his offensive skills, was completely dominated on the ground yet again. There was some late attempts to throw some things out there. He did show that he had the ability to try for submissions, but he really needs to spend some time in the gym in bad positions and working on getting out of those positions. You kind of wonder exactly how much time he had spent in between the Bryce Mitchell fight and this one, training for those bad positions, because this is going to start to become a game plan for every opponent that Charles is going to face from here on out. It is a big glaring weakness, and it's not it's just you kind of expect a little bit better. There was a lot of shit talking between these two, I believe Rosa was saying that he was gonna submit this kid, which I thought was a gross overestimation of one's skills. Derrick's just no slouch. I mean, that guy has got submission every which way possible, pretty much. He's got I think if he's got 29 wins, he's got 27 submissions or something stupid like that. Probably not that high, but it's up there. His number of submissions is way up there. And you question, was Rosa just overlooking this dude? Did he not have enough respect that was needed? You start to question where Rosa is at in his professional career, right? Is he lying to himself, or is he willing to listen to what other people are telling him? You never know how these things go sometimes, right? But he's clearly going to need to figure something out, maybe he needs to go and spend some time with that John Danaher death squad and spend some extensive time on the ground. He's got a lot of skills. I don't want to keep on harping on the kid, and saying that he's a terrible talent or anything, because I'm not out here trying to sell you that he isn't, that he is a terrible talent. I'm trying to tell you that, like, he's just got this one weakness in his game, right? And if he can get back up to his feet, you know what I mean, we can see a little bit more of what he's about. I think he's a lot better on his feet than he is on the ground, and he's going to need to spend more time on the mat, and that's okay. He's still a young kid, young fighter, and unfortunately, I know I say this all the time, there's just no easy fights in the UFC and in some of these divisions. They are killers, and the best divisions that the UFC boasts, are like in the heavyweight divisions, in the featherweight divisions, and like in the welterweight divisions, right? Those are like the best divisions. The welterweight division for the UFC has been the best division in mixed martial arts for the past 12 years. Even same with their flyweight division has been the best in the last 10-15 years, and their heavyweights in the last like 10 years, right? They are top dogs, right? So they've got some very impressive divisions, but loaded full of talent. So there's just no easy way to cut your teeth in the UFC, that's for sure. Hopefully we'll get to see Minor again soon. He didn't look to take too much damage in that one, and really kind of cruised in for a easy decision win. This next one was in the heavyweight division, and this was another one that I said, if you are betting, bet the house on Chris Dukas, and he did not disappoint, as he had a what was it? Was it a first round KO? Yes, I believe it was a first round KO over Alexei Oleinik, and Chris is looking good, right? Chris is on a 3-fight win streak. He is Philadelphia tough. He's also a policeman. He's looking better. He's looking more fit every time we get to see him in the octagon. It would have been interesting to kind of get to see a little bit of his ground game. Unfortunately, Oleinik was not able to get him there. I just kind of want to see where fighters are at in their careers. But the man's got some heavy hands. And I thought the 12-year age gap between these two fighters was going to be a huge problem, and like I had said in my previous show, I can't help but feel that this is the Derrick Lewis fight all over again. Somebody that's got better boxing skills, has got lots of power in their hands, and has got enough ground skill to defend and get themselves back up to their feet, right? And sure enough, Chris made quick work of Alexei. Alexei got rocked early, was stunned, and not that Chris hit him with anything that was like huge, lots of power, but Chris throws with speed, and he's got power behind that too, and it's just a deadly combinations, and he just overwhelmed Oleinik, had him up on the fence. I don't know if many of you caught it, but I mean, once Herb Dean finally stepped into that one, he had to catch Alexei. Alexei almost dropped down, and he almost fell off his stool there. So it's unfortunate that Alexei is not able to get his 60th win. I think he's going to be searching for that one for a long time. And if that is truly something Alexei wants to be chasing, he can't be doing it in the UFC. The guy's got all the skills in the world. It's just at this point, you start to wonder, like, how much. What are you chasing? Why are you chasing this? And what value are you going to put on your health? And I just don't want to see the guy get in there with another heavyweight that's going to stand there and bang. I honestly think. No, I mean, honestly, Alexi just needs to retire at this point. Or he needs to go to, like, one of these smaller promotions and try and get that 60th win if that's truly what he wants. Hopefully we get to see Chris with a number. He's definitely going to crack the top 15 rankings. I don't think we're going to see him with the number 10 beside his name, as he would have liked to have seen, though he does have a strong statement. You just took out the number 10, so that should make you the number 10, right? But, we'll probably see him crack and land on the number 12th spot, possibly. Yeah, I can't wait to see what's next for Chris. Makes for a fun fight. There is a fight that I would like to see him in next, but we'll get to that one here in a few scraps. We are first going to get into the scrap between Philip Hawes and Imamov. Terrible with these names. This was in the middleweight division, and this one was a very entertaining one and provided some excitement. Ilmov is another one of those Frenchmen that fights out of the MMA factory. So the kid's got world-class skills. He was able to show off some of those. However, you could kind of see the age factor kind of played a role in this one, I think. The experience and the situational awareness kind of bit Ilmov in the bum in this one, as he did get dominated the first 2 rounds, and he had an opportunity to win that in the third. He had Philip Hawes rocked and dazed. He just, for whatever reason, went back to the clinch. And he went back into the clinch again, and Hawes was able to recollect himself, put him back on the cage, and hold him there as he tried to recover. But Phil just looks great. He's got lots of power. His physique, he's so massive and huge. The guy is all bulging goddamn muscles, and as impressive as that is, I start to wonder about his cardio, because the way he got rocked in the third there wasn't because he ate the most nastiest big shot. He did get rocked. He did get hit with a big shot, don't get me wrong, but I think the cardio did not allow him to recover from that shot, and he was lucky to be able to he was lucky that Ilmov made the mistake to clinch back up and give him that win. He should have been put on his ass, but at the same time too, he got grounded out for 2 rounds, and he himself was gassed. He had problems with Phil's wrestling. He did not look the greatest in the clinch, and he really did not use his frame too well to his ability, but he did show that he's got some great striking ability. He does got some good clinch technique. It just becomes a question of it's almost like a battle of styles, right? I think MMA Factory will probably need to bring in a wrestling coach full time, like a top level American wrestling coach to work with some of these guys, because they've got great skill set on the ground, but they might not be used to kind of like that American style of MMA where you get a guy that, the classic Randy Couture style where he will ground you out, hold you on the cage, just do enough work that the referee won't stop the action and, point you out for a easy victory, Well, not an easy victory. Those are like hard-fought victories, but in the end, when you don't take a lot of damage and you're just burning calories, right? It's a pretty efficient way to win. Phils, though, did look great in this one. He has got tremendous power. He's got tremendous speed. He is, he's 5'11". He's running into guys who are like, 6'1", 6'3". The middleweight division has got some big men in it. You wonder if he'll be able to kind of fix some of these cardio issues. Like I said, he's got a massive frame on him. I almost wonder if he thinks about dropping down a weight class, you know what I mean, getting a little bit leaner with his muscle, if he might benefit from a change of that nature, because once you get into these championship rounds, right, you're going to need every bit of that cardio. So very exciting prospect. Actually, both these men are very exciting prospects. We're going to see them both again, I'm sure, real soon. Well, not real soon. These guys did take some fair bit of damage, so I'm sure it'll be a little bit before we see both these guys back in the ring, probably by the fall, if we're lucky. Now, this one was originally supposed to close out the prelims, but this got pushed up to the main event. Like I had said, we had lost a total of 3 fights going into this event, and then we had lost another one during the event. So some things got shuffled around, and this one got bumped up. Unfortunately, I did not place a bet down for this one. I did. I just didn't tell you guys. I just didn't talk about this one on the show, because originally I did not think that this was going to be on the main card. But like I said, we had a few things shifted around, so I did not pick a winner in this one. But this was a fun scrap to watch, and we learned a lot about the young man from England, Tom Aspin. And he showed a lot of savvy ring experience in there for a very young talent as he is. He is a second generation talent, right? So he grew up watching his father compete. So the kid comes from good stock. He's going to be a problem in the future. Like I was so impressed with how cool, calm, and collected he was in the pocket. And when you're facing off a legend in the sport like Andrei Arlovski, as a young kid coming in, there's got to be some nerves going into that one. One would think, at least, right? Such a big opportunity in front of you. You're going to put this big name onto your resume, right? He didn't disappoint, right? He went out there, executed. He moves really, really well in the pocket. The one thing that impressed me so much in this fight, and I don't know if a lot of people caught it or not, but during one of the exchanges, Orlovsky went to go and throw a lower leg calf kick, and Aspen was able to check it, but not with the leg that was out in front, but more so with the leg that was out in the to his back, right? He was able to go and kick the incoming leg, right, and blocking it, and that is a very effective way to counter those lower calf kicks. It's very hard to time those, so he's what I'm trying to get at is he's showing high level striking techniques in his game, right? And he's going to be a problem in this division real soon. He dominated Orlovsky right from start to finish of that first round. He put on some good pressure. He weathered a little bit of Andre's storm at the first little bit there, and he earned Orlovsky's respect as he cracked him with a couple of shots, and then you could see that Andre just did not want to press that anymore. In fact, he just he looked a little bit lost out there, those shots seemed to really had affected him, and he was very slow coming out for that second round. And what a takedown that Tom had. He that must have been close to like 500 pounds, 550, hitting that ring post there, and it looked like it was like the gate that they come in and out of, right? So it was a good thing that the cage is well constructed, because it looked like those two were ready to go like right through that. And you wonder if that also knocked the wind out of Orlovsky, because Tom was able to just get back up, take his back right quick, sink in that rear naked choke, and it was like done within seconds, masterfully planned. But you could hear the frustration on Orlovsky as soon as it happened. He it looked like he was in a little bit of disbelief that it actually had happened to him, right? And those are tough L's to take. Those are kind of the ones that come back and haunt you in your sleep, right? I don't know what's next for Andre. Originally, like, he wasn't supposed to be on this main card, right? He does have a big name, so he's still got value within the company, but I think from here on out, the only time that we're going to see him on the main card is if we have fights that need to be replaced, and he's already on the card. But I think it's a smart move, like I had mentioned in my previous show, that the UFC is using this big name to kind of draw in your everyday average fan to kind of see what the excitement is about, right? As they're also showcasing the future talent, you know what I mean? So they can get like a fresh crop of young people excited for these fighters, right? And I'm going to be keeping an eye out for Tom's next fight. This kid is a tremendous talent, and I would like to see him fight Chris Dukas next. I think that would be an incredible scrap between these two young heavyweights, but you never know if and not if, because I'm sure their paths will collide at some point, but it's a question of when will their paths collide, right? It all depends on how the matchmakers want to groom these kids and bring them up. Yeah, that was a entertaining scrap. Great prospect Tom is. England has got a bright star in their midst, that's for sure. All right, so we are now going to get down into the undercard, and this one was another one of those fights that we had a fighter come in overweight. Nothing too gross in this one. I mean, it's still gross because you missed your contractual weight. And Jared Gordon came in 4 pounds overweight in this one, and he forfeited 30% of his purse, which is huge. And he came in to face Danny Chavez, and as I had said in my previous show, I wasn't too familiar with some of these fighters in the undercard, but I'm just gonna start to take note, and I was impressed with Gordon. You know, Gordon has got some heavy hands. He's got great wrestling. He controlled his opponent from start to finish in this one. It seemed that the weight cut didn't really seem to affect him all too much. You know, we probably won't see him again fighting in the featherweights. He'll probably move up a little bit, you know, to the 155-pound division, right? The 145-pound mark just seems to be too small of a division for a guy like this. And you know, I feel that there definitely needs to be some sort of like changes to these rules, right? Because clearly, I mean, this is a sport. And, you know, like, I understand the whole, like, fair play and everything, but, you know, to have these guys trying to find that one advantage by, like, draining every little bit out to get into these lighter weight divisions, I mean, kind of really doesn't send the proper message out there, right? You know, at the end of the day, you need some sort of advantage over your opponent to compete against your opponent, right? I think if you make weight the day of the fights, right? I think that's how you correct this, right? You know, you should be, if you're making 145 pounds, right? You should be 145 pounds and then get in the ring and fight at 145 pounds, right? If you want to overeat and make yourself sick that day to go and get an advantage, it's up to you. That's your prerogative, right? But, you know, there's going to be issues towards that. And I don't know. It's kind of a sore spot for the UFC right now, you know, and especially in this event. Like I said, 4 fighters in total missed weight, and you can't be having that in the as a professional. This is your career, right? But enough of beating a dead horse. Gordon did look great in this one. Chavez was not really able to get anything going. You know, he was the much smaller opponent in this one, and it showed. You know, he just didn't have the power to bang against Gordon. He was able to land a few shots. His jab and his boxing skills were good, but he wasn't able to really defend against the takedown of Gordon, and just got gassed out. Wasn't it? You know, had a hell of a time trying to get back up to his feet in this one, and just didn't really look impressive in this, right? Definitely he's going to have to spend more time wrestling. There's a lot of great wrestlers in that featherweight division, and you just can't hope that your opponent's just going to stand there and want to bang with you. You know, that's a recipe for disaster. But looking forward to seeing when Gordon steps in the ring. Hopefully he's going to be in a heavier weight division this time. This other one was a good scrap between Eddie Wyland versus John Castaneda. Castaneda is a hot young prospect in the bantamweight division, and he kind of showed why with an impressive first round TKO over Wyman. Now I believe Eddie was we last saw Eddie against Sugar Shane, I believe, right? And wasn't that when Sugar kind of like sat this dude flat on the ground? No, I'm not trying to take anything away from Eddie, but you start to wonder if he's been in the game far too long, you know. He was a former WEC champion. He's got all the skills in the world, you know. He's not a easy target, right? But the way he has gotten dropped, you start to question the how good is his chin anymore, you know. I think at this point in his career, he probably needs to look at maybe getting into some more of these submission combat sports if he wants to continue with the sport, right? Unfortunately, it just seems that his chin is no longer what it used to be, but that man has been through quite a few wars in his day, and it's unfortunately one of those things, you know, like Father Time does get us all, right? You know, the things that I learned about Castaneda in that fight is he is a patient kid. He does have a lot of power. He seemed to be the much bigger of the two fighters. But I thought for the most part he was getting worked and was playing awfully too patient. I think he'll need to work on that a little bit, right? He'll need to not so much wait for his opponent to come to him all the time, because clearly he needs to learn to be the aggressor, because if he runs into a guy with the chin, you know, he's going to be in for a long night, right? He needs to learn to fight off of coming off of going backwards, and you know, if he runs into a guy that can box and that's got a tough chin, right, he's it's gonna make for a long night. But he is an exciting young prospect. Like I said, he's still a kid, but hopefully we get to see him here in the summertime again. He didn't take too much damage, you know. Hopefully maybe like in a month or so we can get him back in there again, you know. Another quick turnaround, right? These guys got to keep turning around quick and keep adding shine to their name. But yeah, definitely going to be one of those kids that I'm going to keep an eye out for the future, and really looking forward to his next scrap. This next one was in the featherweight division, and this one was Julia Erosa versus Nate Ludwin, and you know, poor Nate. He felt that this one was a early stoppage, but I had looked, and it was a smart stoppage by I believe it's Mark Smith. You can kind of see why he was upset, but he did a great job at not. Mark Smith did a great job at not allowing him to take any further damage, because he would have continued to eat shots, you know. This one was a spicy little scrap, you know, and it looked like it was going to go back and forth. Erosa got dropped by Nate. I think he ate a nasty uppercut, hit canvas, back up to his feet, landed some good straight shots on Nate, backed Nate up all the way to the fence, and he kind of threw that jab out there to gauge the distance, and then landed an amazing flying knee, dropped Nate. Like I had said, Nate was out cold, folded over. He came back to pretty quick, but that was because Smith was did an amazing job, and came in and stopped that and prevented him from eating more shots. In fact, after the post-fight interview, as Bisping was talking to Erosa, he's like, he saved that man's life. I was ready to bury him, right? So, it did look like it was a early stoppage, but look back at the tape and you will see that it wasn't at all. I originally had thought it was, but I waited for the replay. Of note, I was a little disappointed that they didn't offer a different view of the knockdown. I'm a little shocked at that, to be honest with you. That's the big thing with sports, right? Is like all these replays, all these different angles, right? Like, where was the angle on that, right? And especially when you've got like a lot of these casual fans watching your sport right now, especially when it's the free prelim fights on the ESPN channel, right? You got to provide a little bit more detail for the casuals out there, so they can kind of see a better view of exactly what's going on, so that they don't like formulate these ideas in their heads that you know what I mean, that it was a terrible stoppage, that like, I don't want to see this because they end fights quick, right? You got to protect the product a little bit better in that regard, in my opinion. Anyways, both these men are still young. Well, not so much Erosa. Erosa is a savvy vet. I think he's close to like 24, 25 victories or something like that. He definitely impressed. He's definitely going to be one of those guys that I'm going to keep an eye out for. Showed some true grit out there, showed some great striking, showed that he had a lot of speed. But like I said, I'm a little unfamiliar with most of these guys, but it'll be interesting to see the full range of skill sets, right? A lot of unanswered questions for me at this point. How is this man's ground game? How is his defense, right? But I'm sure we'll get those answers in the future, that's for sure. As for Nate, it wasn't the most terrible thing. Unfortunately, he did get caught, right? It was like one of those things. He zigged instead of zagged, and unfortunately ate that flying knee. And there's not too many people out there in the world that can eat a flying knee and still scrap, right? So I can see as to why he was disappointed. Hopefully he's had some time to kind of look back at the tape and see that it wasn't that bad of a stoppage, and hopefully there's no hurt feelings between him and referee Mark Smith. But good scrap. It was a quick one, but it was a fun one, that's for sure. Very exciting. Now, as for another exciting scrap, we had a another young talented prospect fighting in this one. It was in the women's featherweight division. This was a bout between Shauna Dobson versus King Cassie O'Neill, and Cassie O'Neill is a Scotsman, second generation fighter, I believe, as well. Her father is a MMA fighter, if I'm correct. Booked her two first amateur fights. She unfortunately lost those two amateur fights, but since then, that woman has been putting in the work. This was something that she had always wanted to do. Had always kind of like pestered her father to allow her to do, and she is looking to be a tremendous prospect, as she completely dominated Dobbs in this one. Some of her teammates were joking around that her new name should be Pacey O'Neill, and I think that fits 100% the pace that Cassie put on out there was just tremendous. You know, poor Dobson just was not able to have any answers for her out there. You know, Casey has got showed some great groundwork there. She showed that she can throw with high volume. You know, she also comes out of a great camp. This is my favorite camp in the world, Phuket, coming out of Phuket, Thailand. That's that Tiger Gym, right? Tiger Muay Thai is, in my opinion, one of the best. Well, in my opinion, they're the best MMA camp in the world right now. They give you a whole experience out there, right? Great striking coaches. They've got great strength and conditioning coaches. They've got great coaches for BJJ. I recommend, if you're not following, follow the gym on Instagram. You know, you can see some of the work that they do. An amazing facility. Would love to go over there and train yet again. Train and just experience it in, right? And get all that, see exactly how it's all done, right? Tremendous gym over there, and they've got nothing but killers pouring out, right? And all the top talent does go there to get a little bit of training. Valentina Shevchenko, Piotr Yan, right? It is a premier camp in the world, right? Cassie's now undefeated as a pro in mixed martial arts. She is 6-0. She'll need a tougher opponent in her next one. I would almost like to see how O'Neal does against someone like a Jillian Roberts. But I think that's a little bit too high in the division right now. Cassie is still currently unranked, but it'll be interesting to see where the rankings are in this division after Saturday night. But yeah, if you are not familiar with King Cassie, make sure to remember that name. She is going to be a threat in this division for a long time to come. And I had talked that there are some premier divisions in the UFC, and I did not talk about any of the women's divisions, and I'm sorry about that, but it's no disrespect. It's right now the women's divisions are the top divisions, right? And if you don't recognize that at this point, it's you're not really a fan of MMA, right? There's a lot of other leagues out there with other women's divisions, but all the best women, all the best talent, maybe there's one or two out there that are not within the UFC right now, but you can definitely state that the UFC has got the best women on the planet as of right now. Their featherweight division's amazing, their bantamweight division's amazing, right? It's top notch. All the best females on the planet fight for the UFC pretty much currently. But yeah, that being said, they've got a lot of exciting young talent. I mean, it'll be it's a fun division to watch, right? The flyweight divisions, both men and women, just some of the best right now. All right. As for our next scrap here, this was another one yet again that we had another missed weight. This one was, I believe, another 4 pounds was missed. This was a 30% off the purse of his young kid. Hopefully he'll be able to kind of like figure this out. And Diego Rodriguez was fighting against Aseman Amen. Oh man, I am terrible with these names. Terrible. Zahabi. Give me a sec here. Amen Zahabi. I had to get that right. Fellow Canadian, so I didn't want to screw that up. Just in case y'all were wondering, no, this was not Ariel Helwani coming out and scrapping, even though he did look like a dead ringer. Zahabi is a name that you all should be familiar with, and if you're not, that's okay. You're probably just the casual MMA fan, and there's nothing wrong with that. And we're going to give you a little bit of information as to why that last name is important. And, well, we're going to give you another name. GSP. That's right, George St. Pierre. Now, he is a Canadian fighter that fights out of Quebec. And that is the camp of Fossarabi, right? And legendary trainer is always in George's corner, right? He's in many you'll find him in many corners throughout many scraps that you watch in the UFC. He's often on the Joe Rogan Experience talking. He's a very smart man, and originally didn't want to let his younger brother fight, from what sources say. But his younger brother was dead set that this is what he wanted to do, and after begging and pleading, finally convinced his brother to let him do it. And, he got off to a hot start. He was slowed down in the last couple of years here, but he looks like he is starting to turn it around. And wow, did he have a big statement in this one. He went out there and just landed a big overhand shot and put Rodriguez to sleep in the first round. There was a little bit of feeling out. Rodriguez looked good out there. Don't get me wrong. Sorry. What I had noted was Rodriguez claimed the center of that octagon. Seemed to have pushed the pace a little bit. Both men were having some good exchanges. Oh, excuse me. You could see that Rodriguez was trying to kind of process the information of what Ayman was presenting with him. He was doing Zahabi was moving around a lot. He wasn't a stationary target. He was giving him a lot of feints, right? And he was just really trying to get a read on Rodriguez, and clearly he got him to move the way that he wanted, because he landed that overhand shot, the overhand right, and Rodriguez just crumpled to the ground. I mean, amazing power in this kid's hands. I don't think anyone expected a vicious knockout like that in the bantamweight divisions at all. He just I just remember the thud, and just like he stiffed up and just done for. You know what I mean? That was like a one-shot knockoff. Zahabi knew he had him KO'd, and great performance from him. Hopefully we get to see him again, as stated, Canadian. So big props to him. I'm gonna try and reach out to the guy, see if we can get a interview or something like that. I haven't done too many of those on the show just yet, but maybe we'll see if we can get the stars aligned and get a little interview with Zahabi here. More props to Canada. Got to show the love, and really looking forward to seeing these two guys in the ring again. Rodriguez is going to have to fix some of those notable weight issue problems that he is currently having early on in his career. I don't think he is necessarily too heavy for this division. I just think he's very young still, and he'll need to figure out a few things. But he did show some good skill in there. Unfortunately, he just kind of got caught. He's gonna have to work a little bit more on them boxing skills, and much like his opponent there, he's gonna have to provide a target that's moving and not be so stationary. Unfortunately he kind of got caught chasing, right? And that'll get you into a little bit of problems, especially when you're fighting somebody that's got a little bit of ring experience, you know what I mean? And the knowledge that is sitting in Zahabi's corner is just, like I said, it's just a plethora of knowledge there. So good game planning by them, and like I says, the power on Zahabi. Wow. I can't wait to see him in the ring next. Hopefully he'll have a quick turnaround here, and hopefully Zahabi fights at least 3 more times this year. It's still early on in the year. I'd like to see him, 4-week turnaround, get him back in there, fight again sometime in the late summer, and then hopefully before the new year is out. I don't think that is a stretch. But obviously, it also depends on, how his other fights go. All right, so to open the show up, we had a heavyweight fight, and wow, this is another young, exciting prospect that people are going to have to circle and keep an eye out for, as Spavek completely dominated his opponent. His opponent Jared was really a non-factor in this one. He got dominated in the first. He got taken to the ground and got mauled. Jared, I don't know if it was like one of these respect things, because he said he didn't really respect the boxing skills of Spavek, and that might be so, but you're not in a boxing match in this one. You are in an MMA match, and Spavek's like, okay, that's fine. I might not have these boxing skills, but you also don't have no ground skills, so I'm just going to take you to the ground, maul you there, and it's going to be on you to get back up to your feet. And Jared looked absolutely lost, and ate some big nasty shots on the ground, and Spavek just made quick work of Jared. This one ended by KO in the second round. I don't know if it was late in that round or if it was early. I kind of forgot, but did not look great in that one. Whereas Spavek, you're better off, if you're a young talent and you're still kind of like learning in this sport, you're better off having a solid ground base, and then you can kind of work with your boxing skills. If you can defend and control your opponent on the ground, it is a great skill set to have to continue to cut your teeth. You can have an easier time learning in the UFC than you would have more so, let's say, like a striker, even though it is capable of having that happen. You look at like Holly Holm, who was a 100% striker who eventually learned the ground game, right? There are those special talents, but it's a lot easier the other way than this way. Trust me. I don't know if we'll be seeing Jared anytime soon. He did took hell of a beating in that one, so he's gonna have some recovery. We'll probably be lucky to see Jared in the ring one more time this year. Even if we do see him, it'll probably be late in the year. As for Spavek, he needs to get another fight here ASAP, right? He looked great in that one, didn't take too much damage, so hopefully he'll be back soon. All right, everyone, that covers the show for today. Thank you so much for chilling out and listening. Greatly appreciate if you like what you saw here, if you smash that subscribe button and show some love my way. All right, y'all. I'll see you midweek for another fight prediction. Peace.